everyone, this is Dee. Welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to be here, to be back, because I have this wonderful topic for you. Today we want to talk about balance. What does it look like to have a balanced life, and whatever framework that looks like for you, in whatever stage of life you are in, whatever season of life you are in, and whether you are a man or a woman, what does that even look like? What does it even mean to be a balanced person, to have a balanced life? So if you guys been watching me for more than 2 seconds, you guys already know that I'm foreign, right? I'm not from around here. I learned English late in life and I have an accent. I mumble my words. Sometimes I don't make any sense. And you're still watching me. Thank you for that. And while you're at it, subscribe, all right, and like my video. If you like anything at all, my hair, my style, my the topic I'm discussing, like and subscribe. If you think other people need to hear this, like and subscribe, and that helps me with the algorithm. I don't say this enough, and I have to literally remind myself to say it, because it's just one of those things that I rarely remember to mention, and I have to get better at that. Anyway, to get back on the topic, so I'm not from around here, so I learned English late in life, and I was almost 18 or 17 when I was starting to learn English for the first time, and I remember those days when I used to walk around with a big French to English dictionary in my backpack. We didn't have phones. Cell phones readily available at those times. And then moving onward, when I started my spiritual journey and my awakening journey, I started working with a mentor. She was a stickler in going to the dictionary, because sometimes we'd be speaking and I would use the wrong words, and she's like, okay, for you, I want you to get in the habit, before you say something, when you thought processing it, you need to look up the word in dictionary. And I loved her for it, because she understood that for me it was a weakness. But because I worked with her for like almost 2 years, it developed this thing for me. Even now, whenever I am writing something, understanding the true meaning, I go to the dictionaries. Okay, so what is balance? So by definition, balance is an even distribution of weight, enabling someone or something to remain upright or steady. An even distribution of weight that enables someone to remain upright or steady. So, okay, I understand that, but most people think that when you say someone is balanced, it's a matter of 50-50. But it is not, because if you look at the definition of even, even means flat or smooth. That's the first definition. The second definition is even means equal in numbers, amount, or value. And that is when it really comes together for me when I'm talking about the word balance. Whatever they're talking about, it doesn't necessarily need to be even in numbers. It's even in value, even in amount, or whatever it is that it evens it out, or makes it flat, or smooth it out, which is the definition of even, to keep you upright and sturdy, to keep your life running upward, to keep your life going in an upward direction, right? So I decided to have this conversation here and kind of like squeeze it in terms of your season in life, your lifestyle in life, whether you're a man or a woman and you are trying to find this proverbial balance in your life, and what does that actually look like. So in my course, I went at length and talking about the different phases of a woman's life, and we talk about the maiden, we talk about the mother energy, we talk about the goddess energy, and we went into some real deep healing and understanding and transformative teaching of that. And I mentioned that in my course, but I didn't really go too deep into it because my audience is predominantly women for the course. But then I decided to actually introduce the men's version of it here, because when I look at YouTube tells me that 40% of my audience are male. I thought it was going to be more. I thought it was going to be more women. I thought it was going to be like a 90-10, but no. Only 60% of my audience is women, and 40% of you guys are male. So I was like, huh. So anyway, for this topic, I'm also introducing the versions, the male version here. So a good reference for the men watching me would be, there is a book called The Amazing Development of Men. It's by Alison Armstrong. And I don't have the physical book, but I have it on audio. I have listened to it several times, and it's a very good resource if you want to understand the male version of that. But just to bring this topic about, I'm still going to brush through it. But if you're remotely curious, or if you're a man, it's such a good book. I would say that explain what is needed in different places, different stages that a man find himself to be. It will bring you more understanding of who you are and what it is to develop into that manhood, into kingship, to borrow from her language. Anyway, so for women, I mentioned the maiden. For the male, it would be the page. For the next stage for women is, I would say, it's the mother. On that stage, it's the prince for the men, and the king is for the men, and the last stage would be the queen or the goddess for the women. Anyway, at each level, at each stage of your life, balance means different things, doesn't it? And how do you use balance as a structure to keep your life upward, where you could still balance the structure and of the feminine and the masculine energy? Because even if you're a man, you might need to embrace that 10% of you that is in that feminine that allows you creativity. But for the women, it's almost essential. This is what we are, especially if you are dominantly, if you're dominantly a feminine woman, then you will have a good balance of you'll have more of that feminine energy, that feminine vibe. But you cannot discount that masculine essence of you that allows you to provide structure into your life. So in terms of balance, when you are in the maiden energy, and the maiden energy, you're more carefree, you are more you are more free spirited, you are in the state of flow more often, you're curious, you dive in head first. This is the time when you need more structure. Balance for you would mean something entirely different. And I don't know if I should make a series of this, because this might be a very long video. I think I should go into each and every stages separately and make a series out of it, so that I could also put in a little bit of my story, a little bit of my experience with those stages and what was required at the moment to give me a steady balance of the masculine and feminine, and where I failed and where I was strong at, and what that looked like for me. Okay, so when you are in the maiden energy, the structures are different. You are in the giver's energy. You are caring for others. Balance in that would require you to have boundaries, where you know to stop. And it also looks different whether you are single or if you are in partnership. That is something that I definitely want to get into. If you are in the goddess energy, it also looks different for you if you're going to maintain balance in your life. Okay, the structure that you would need would look different, because you have different responsibility. You are more tapped into universal flow, that God essence, that God spark within you. How do you keep what you would need to be more grounded? You need to be more grounded, otherwise you won't be balanced, the proverbial balance for men and women. Like, for example, I could give a good example of when I suddenly found myself being the childless maiden. So I was a mother, and I was a wife, and I was everything else. And then when I went to my divorce, and then my son ended up going to live with his dad. So we're doing 50-50, but most the bulk of the parenting, because I have a boy, was being done by his dad. This is how we decided, because I thought that was the best thing for him. Still is. But then I needed to adjust myself. I needed to create different structure that would balance me and keep my life running upward. Right? I needed to implement structure. I had to be the one to secure my own keep. I had to be the one to make sure I monitor my safety. I no longer had to be predominantly in the mothering energy when I was securing and I was mothering my child at the time. I started to nurture myself, so that it looks different, because at that time balance for me was to know, hey, when do I need to be carefree and when I need to make myself safe. When I started dating, when I was still in that maiden energy, balance for me looked different. You know, the time that I did, when I did, and I have a whole dating series that I would like to get into, but right now is really not the time. But if I was to look back, if you look back at your life, here's my assignment for you. Now that you understand balance is the distribution of weight, where that enables someone or something to remain upright or steady. What does that mean for you? What steadies you? What does that mean for you? And what keeps you upright in your life, where you still feel like your life is even, it's smooth, it's upright? Depending on who's watching this and what stage you are in, it will look something different. And I'm definitely going to come back and make a series out of this, and see how I could develop every stages and make it relatable for both men and women. So that's just a little introduction on the topic, and I'm looking forward to talking more about it. I'll see you next time. Bye.